Welcome back in, everybody, to the No Name Show, broadcasting live here on Sunday evenings, 10 p.m. on the front page of Vocal.com. That's VOKLE.com. I'm your host, Lawton Swan. Glad to be here with you. Got to turn off Carbonite as always. Wish they were a sponsor, but they are not. They get a free plug, though, every week because I constantly run that backup software. Got to have multiple backups of your stuff, people. You have to have that. If you're not aware of that fact that you need that, be cautious because you do. Yeah, you don't want to be caught up like one of my buddies recently. A little lesson learned, and for his protection, I'm not going to tell you his name, but a good friend of mine who is decently inclined with the computer, decently, does a fairly decent job. He was going to reinstall his Windows because, he came to me. He said, you know what, Swanee, I need to know a little bit about this. What are your thoughts? My computer's running slow. Should I go out and spend some money on on a fancy product? And I said, no, don't do that yet. Let me tell you about Bitrite. You're still running XP, right? Yeah. Phone lines are always open, 803-450-0086. That's 803-450-0086. I'll put that in the chat room. I said, no. Whatever you do, don't go spend that money just yet. Your old computer may still be very serviceable for what you want it to do. Maybe serve the house through iTunes with all your media, all your audio. Well, he did a great job backing his stuff up. And this is why I tell you need Carbonite or multiple backups, off-site backups as well. He did a great job backing his stuff up, got ready for the Windows install, and this is where the fatal flaw occurred. Did not unplug his hard drive and installed Windows on top of all of his stuff. 8 years of videos, 8 years of music, pictures, documents, everything gone. Like that. In a blink of an eye, you go from having everything you could possibly want in security, what felt like security, and this is what I told him, you really weren't all that safe. I was honest with him. I said, if you didn't have an offsite backup, you really weren't all that safe. But I guarantee you that the minute he realized what he had done, he was like, "Go!" That's not a good feeling. That is not a good feeling at all. So make sure that you back your stuff up. Make sure that you unplug your hard drives before you install a new operating system on there. He is back, though. I have since fixed everything. I have taken care of it all. So he's back. Just be cautious. Always have a backup. By the way, breaking news, as always, here on the program, we give you the NBC. I told you guys a few weeks ago, it wasn't even football season yet. And the No Name Show is still this mythical event that occurs every Sunday night, and you folks don't turn out for it. But you should. The No Name Show has so much potential. Drop by our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LSwanMedia. That's ELSWANN Media. Go by there. Trust me on this. Check out the archived versions of the program. We got a great show, but it's even better when we have people participating with us in the chat room. We are now the #1 rated vocal host, most watched vocal host. You say, well, how do you pull that off? You got a show there. You have very few people that pay attention to the No Name Show. Well, I guarantee you the first McDonald's wasn't slam full. But we have a couple of other programs, sports talk programs, that have and do get a number of you involved. I believe we saw a peak of about 209 people last week, and it's only going to get more and more as college football season rolls around, and we will be doing more and more programming for you. All the ways you can take part in the program, including that number that pops up at the bottom of the screen. In the little banner at the bottom, that'll get you in touch with us as well. We've got a lot to get to here on the program, though. First off, the Olympics are over. The Olympics are said and done. And we got a great question. We got a great question. I'm going to get to it in just a second. The Olympics are over. And I tell you what, the Americans and the Chinese really went at it head to head. And I know Tom, who's dropping this question in, is a big soccer guy. And I watched a lot of the Olympic soccer. And I'm not a big soccer fan. I've said that multiple times. But the one thing I will say is that it is intriguing to watch. And Mexico beating Brazil, that was a big surprise for me because of the way Brazil had played throughout the tournament. And Brazil still without a gold medal. Unbelievable, really. One of the more unbelievable things about the Olympics as far as stats go, I think. That's tremendous. I mean, Brazil is the face of soccer globally in my mind. Argentina right there in the mix. In the olden days, I guess, Tom, you'll agree with me, it was at one time England who really led the way. But now these, South American countries have really embraced the sport and made it their own. And even though the best soccer played, I guess, professionally is probably over in Europe, the best countries seem to be those, much like baseball. I mean, baseball, a lot of the great talent in baseball comes from the Caribbean, comes from South America now. It's amazing to see the numbers of guys that have embraced that sport as well. But the Olympics are over. I thought, briefly here, I thought England did a pretty good job hosting. Not a great job, a good job. There's something to that uh, United States and England British relationship that's a little bit murky and strange because of the way our country came about back in 1776. And my wife's grandmother is from England, so that's got a little bit of a tie there too. But it's just a little bit. It's not strained, not maybe as much as the Japanese and American relationship until you get into cars and televisions and everything else that we purchase from Japan. But going back to the tragic events of Pearl Harbor and such. But there's a couple of things that really got my attention this year, and one was Usain, Insane, Usain, Bolt, whatever you want to call him. The fact that the guy's last name is Bolt, for one thing, just boggles my mind. I mean, the fact that this guy's last name in Bolt has got to be one of the biggest coincidences in the history of mankind. It would be like the slowest guy's last name being Turtle, if you follow me what I'm saying. I mean, it's just ironic, really. It's almost, Chad Ochocinco, who's in the news, by the way, Chad Ochocinco changed his name to Ochocinco. And I don't think he had a misstep with the law at the time. He changed it back to Chad Johnson. There it is. But Bolt is just an unbelievable athlete. And he's got a high opinion of himself. That's the biggest flaw that I see in Bolt. He has such a high opinion of himself. But Bolt running in the 4x100 for Jamaica. That 4x100 was the best race I've ever seen. I enjoy the 100-meter dash or whatever they call it. But that 4x100 where you're passing the baton 3 times in 400 meters is ridiculous. Just the way they get it done is crazy. Tom chimes in with us. Who has the worst teeth, the British, the Ethiopians, or the Venezuelans? I have not noticed bad teeth on the Ethiopians. I think Ethiopians sadly just they get hammered with being a little bit thin. But the British definitely have a rough go of it in the chiclet department. So I'm going to take the British on that one, Tom. I did like your first question, though. Your first question was outstanding. Good stuff there. But the Olympics are over. What are you going to do with your time? You finally get back your NBC, your CNBC, your MSNBC, half of your internet, ESPN, Channel 205 if you're on DirecTV. You've got your smorgasbord of channels back. What are you going to do with yourself? I mean, you got to find some ways to spend your time. Do you want me to tell you what to do?
I've been wanting to talk to you about something.
Netflix. Okay, Netflix has stepped up their game. They had the quick start, quick, whatever they put out about a year ago that was a complete disaster. It lasted about, Stars Earn Stripes. That's the one we're all checking out. That's the one everybody's sitting around. Oh, I can't wait for that show. It's going to be the best. Myrtle, are you watching Stars Earn Their Stripes? It's a great TV show. Absolutely. I don't know, Tom. And by the way, Tom, I've had an opportunity to check in on some of your program and still enjoy it. That and your boy Andrew Luck. I'm assuming he's your boy. I'm hoping you're embracing him. Your boy Andrew Luck has had a pretty good game the other day. How fast will Stars Earns Stripes fail? There. Yeah, I mean, is there? Do I really need to address that? I mean, that thing is dead at launch, right? That show is going to be an abomination. Dean Cain is on it. Well, he's Superman. He's obviously going to win. Nick Lachey, good gracious, and, and Tom says and a whole bunch of other people I've never heard of. Right, you, including me, Tom. Breaking news: I will be participating in Stars Earn Their Stripes. Spoiler alert: I win. I am on there. I win. But let me tell you about what Netflix has done for all you people who are gadgety gurus. Maybe you've got a Apple TV or a Roku or an Xbox or even a Wii for that matter. And I'm assuming the PS3 does this as well. When Nick Lachey is your number two draw, it should be called Extras Earn Stripes. Bing! I wish I had the old, if you watch Big Brother, the Zing bot, Zing! And let me tell you, another guy on Vocal who does a fantastic job. And I know that Tom was on Vocal for a while. Started off here, made his move. He's over at Justin TV now. Hope I don't get fired for saying that. But right as Tom left, they made some changes here to Vocal that helped with a lot of the issues that some of Tom's guests were having with that feedback. That was one of the first things, like 2 days after Tom leaves, they're like, we got this feedback fix. It's like, convenient. But anyway, if you haven't seen Mertz's show, The Mertz Show, great, unbelievable stuff. Mertz kills it every week. He's got a reality guest from wherever. I always go by there, and people. I think people when you're in this kind of realm of entertainment and you kind of do what we do, there's a segment of the population that enjoys it but never wants to participate verbally. They don't want to be on the video for sure. And so, I go to Mertz's show every week just to check in and see what they're up to because I really do like Big Brother. And Mertz is so kind and courteous. And they're always saying, hey, come on and ask a question, talk with us, about, or talk to our guest or whatever. Because I'm willing to do it. But I would encourage you, if you're sitting there and you're listening to this show, I don't care if it's the canned edition, if it's the one on our YouTube channel, you know what? Step up and go out there and put yourself out there. It's not a big deal. Tom says the nonverbal thing is a major issue. And it really is because ultimately when people like Tom and myself and Mertz, and we try and put on a show, I think the one thing that the three of us and others have really tried to avoid is making your show just that random, what flavor Kool-Aid do you like, orange or grape? I like orange. I like orange because it's tasty. We don't have those type of programs. But the one thing we can do to show advertisers how valuable we are, and I want to thank you, Tom, because you really motivated me. You really motivated me to get on the ball, and I've been killing it on the advertising for my Clemson's programming, just killing it. And I think this program is marketable to a certain degree. I think there's a certain market for it. And I really think that, we can take it up to the next level. We're going to be rolling out a bunch of different stuff on my Clemson programming, but this is a show that I enjoy because it gives me a minute to step away and let you know a little bit more about who I am and the things I enjoy. But all in all, what people like Tom, myself, and Mertz, what we want is an interactive audience. And Tom said it in the chat room. We want an interactive audience where people are coming on board and they're willing to spend some time with us. Now, I don't give you the best hour. 10 o'clock is not the best hour. It's not. It's not fair for me to require you to come in. But what I do is give you a multitude of ways to get in touch with me throughout the week. Hashtag no name, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Questions, thoughts, phone calls, voicemail, whatever you want to do, email. Everything you need to get in touch with us right here at the bottom of the screen. And if you like what we're doing, then I think you're going to go that way. Right there, click follow host. We're still trying to get up into the top. I mean, the guy behind me has 9,000 followers. 9,000 followers. There are religions in America that have less than 9,000 followers, okay? I'll just tell you. This guy has 9,000 followers. He has YouTube videos with 19 million views. I'm lucky right now to get about 4 views on this show. Tom has 20 Twitter followers and 104 likes on Facebook. But I don't think you're going to go to the top overnight without putting in a little hard work, elbow grease. Vocals, server connections interrupted. Oh, that's never fun. I know they've been doing some updates here on Vocal, but we're going to jump back in the fray. I hope everything went well while we were away for a moment. Our YouTube channel will be crystal clear and brilliant. We're still rolling along. Hope you are too. But let me tell you what Netflix is doing. If you're like, you need something to scratch that itch, maybe you want to dump your DirecTV or your Dish Network or your Comcast or your AT&T or whoever you're with, whatever you need to do, handle that. Netflix has brought in their 30 for 30 series of ESPN, that 30 for 30 series, and let me tell you something. That thing is unbelievable. I mean, you will absolutely fall in love if you watch it.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
It is wonderful, brilliant, and they're all there for you. Hours upon hours of unbelievable programming, plus a ton of other great movies. I mean, they've really stepped their game up. I would encourage you to check out Netflix. They're not a sponsor. I wish they were. Netflix, I'm asking you. Look, front page, Vocal, it's growing. Right there. Who's at the top? This guy. I need Netflix on board with me. I really do. I'd love to have Netflix on board. Tom says, can you make money on YouTube with your webcast? Yes, Tom, absolutely. If you have enough viewers, you can monetize it. I have all of my videos monetized. There's always an ad that runs, but, I don't have enough viewers, or what everybody in here likes to call subs, 900 subs or bust, 20,000 subs, subscribers is what people are wanting. And, I've just got to get there. And I think it'll come. It's just going to be gradual, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm just going to focus on doing good shows, better shows than everybody else around me. And that's really what we're trying to do. But let me tell you, Netflix people, Netflix has stepped it up. Check them out. Great questions, by the way, Tom. Netflix for kids, it's a whole new section, man. My son gets on there. They got the Phineas and Ferb. They've got, Dinosaur Train, all this stuff that you normal people who don't have kids don't know about. But it's easy for the kid. It's got pictures and everything. Your kid can pick it. I mean, you don't even have to be there anymore. Your kid can find the stuff and watch it and enjoy it. I mean, I'm just impressed with what they've done. And finally, the last thing, because we got to go out to a break. One, because my wife makes a fantastic cup of sweet tea. And yeah, that's my master's cup. Kiowa Island in South Carolina also hosted the PGA Tour this week. I did not get down there. Why? Because I'm not crazy. I'm not trying to get up in that traffic. Are you kidding me? You know what it's like going to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina in the summer? It is like infested with people from Ohio and Ontario. Yeah, Tom, you got to get on YouTube. One, the high-quality video, man. You go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/lswanmedia right now, and look at the difference in the video. The one problem I'm having, and I have been through my entire board to dissect this, is that for whatever reason, on the YouTube audio, I'm only getting, and I'm recording with a program called Webcam Max. That's the program I use for the overlays and everything else. And that's like a $49 program. I mean, you can get that. The problem I do have is for some reason, either Webcam Max only records in single channel audio, not mono, single channel, meaning you're either on the left side of the stereo or the right. I can't remember which one it is. And I cannot for any way figure it out. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'm not going to say that on the air, but I will agree with what you definitely just said. Yeah, I've got Audition and Audacity, Adobe Audition, and I've thought about using that, but right now with the way everything's set up, I don't know if I could get that to work live, and I don't feel like going back in and pumping everything through off the back end off of the MP3 recorder. So I don't even record this on the MP3. I just hold my breath and hope that Webcam Max does a good job. It's just one of those things where I just don't have the time with everything else. But you make some great points. But the final thing, we had one special thing happen at the Olympics. that you may not have realized occurred. I'll tell you about that on the flip side of this break, so don't leave us. Upcoming, a commercial from our main sponsor here on the program, EdistoOutdoors.com. Check them out online. They've got some unbelievable outdoor wear for those of you that like hunting and fishing, stuff that people from Ontario may not know anything about. But we'll be back.
The day she moved out, in my head, if I pointed it just...
Hate the thought of shopping? All that hassle and can't find what you're looking for anyway? We understand. Retail stores make it difficult. Instead, try www.edistooutdoors.com. Edisto Outdoors features performance apparel and gear engineered for performance, comfort, and style. EdistoOutdoors.com. You'll enjoy the shopping and you'll enjoy the products. Great products from people who care.
Welcome back in. Tom says that one of the best Olympic stories is the shotgun shooting chick who medaled in 5 straight Olympics for the USA. Didn't know about that. I probably should have known about it, but I didn't. There was also, if you haven't seen the video of I think his name is Vonderland. He's on the high bar routine. I hope I can find this cat for you. Oh man, his name's not Vonderland. High bar. I think it was from the Netherlands. This dude just Epic Zonderland. That's it. EPKE Zonderland. Now this guy, you want to see something unbelievable? Here, I'm going to cue this up for you folks who you guys like to check in on us every once in a while. I'm going to show you a video here you're not going to believe. Let me get this up. Here we go. Slide this over. All right, here we go. Now check this out for all you people that like the Olympics here. Look at this guy. I should put it to a. I should put this to a little music probably, huh? I don't really know what I have though. I hope you can appreciate this for what he's doing. He needs a little Ed Lover dance, I think. Let's see. Look at this guy get busy right here. Get that ad out of your way. Something about the Ed Lover dance just, buffering. Probably because we're streaming to you people. But I think you got the point if you saw back here at the beginning of this routine. Here we go, one more time with the sickness. Look at that. That is just disgusting. That was just 2 of them. Here you go. Let's see if we got all 3 of them in. Here we go. 1, 2. The thing when you know this is good, when you see this guy right here, I'm going to use my mouse. Well, you can't even see my mouse, unfortunately. But the guy in gray on the left side who actually stands up. Yeah, he stands up to see how good what just occurred was. I mean, that's incredible. Oh, not this again. This is nonsensical when that happens. There we go. All right, so that was Epke Zonderland. You got to YouTube it. I know I just showed it for you, but it's even better when you get a that spinal pain when he's 50. You're right. I mean, that dude, you talk about getting it done, making a sport that most people would say, why in the world are you doing that? That kid gets it, and he gets the job done. That's unbelievable. That almost makes parents, there's those moms out there who don't want their son to play football unless he's the kicker. That's the guy whose mom goes, well, I thought about Johnny being on the gymnastics team, but then I saw that Zonderland guy, and I didn't want my son dead. Frankly, I really wanted him to live, and I feel bad, guys. I look this way because that's the way that the chat room is. I really should put the chat room here. That would be, note to self, move the chat room. Put it there where the people are. Anyway, things that happened at the Olympics that you may not have realized. LeBron James, he he now is only the second person ever, along with Michael Jordan, to win an NBA championship, a regular season MVP, a finals MVP, and a gold medal in the same year. 4. That's a nice year. And this all off of the heels of the debacle of losing in the finals, of everybody, the criticism of the decision, which, you know, for me, as bad as maybe that was for Cleveland, I mean, at least LeBron played out his contract and did what he said he was going to do. He didn't walk away, much like the cat going to the Lakers, whose name for Dwight Howard. Now, I'm a Laker guy, so I'll take it. But, you know, Dwight's leaving early on that contract, and there's no telling if he'll stay in L.A. either. But LeBron James, those guys, congratulations to them, because I tell you, those basketball players were highly criticized for a while back when we weren't playing our best ball, and it felt good to win once again back-to-back Olympic championships for the USA in men's basketball. And, you know, when you think about the redemption of that 1972 team, and I agree with the broadcasters after the fact saying who should be the next coach, I think you got to go with Doug Collins. Collins on that 72 team that got robbed, hornswoggled, bamboozled. I mean, the worst in Olympic history. Tom's with me. Tom says it's Doug Collins. Karl Malone. Karl Malone went to L.A. with Gary Payton, and the Lakers didn't win. That's right. We were gonna be a lock that year too. This kind of, you know, this really, I think this Laker team has a real shot if you can get across to Dwight Howard, block, rebound, be an intense guy on defense. You do live in the basketball capital of the universe. I remember there was a kid back in 1994 I met out of Indiana. They just called him Papa Smurf, man. This kid was a tremendous basketball player. I don't know what happened to Papa Smurf. That's just what they called him. So that's what I called him. But Papa Smurf was an unbelievable player. Flavor Flav. You guys, you know, Flavor Flav kind of made his name, I guess, with Public Enemy, but really more so with, what was it, The Flavor of Love or whatever his program was.
Ha ha! Flavor Flav!
That guy. Yeah, Flavor Flav owes the IRS $1 million in taxes. Back taxes, that is. You know, I've always said it'd be nice if I owed $1 million, because that would mean I'm making a whole lot of money, but I'd hate to owe it in back taxes. You know, I'd like to pay that on the regular up front, not be behind on my taxes $1 million. And I look for hours. Surreal Life with Bridget Nielsen. Brigitte, excuse me. Oh, man. Rocky IV. She was married to Sylvester Stallone in that movie. Not, well, let me rephrase that. In real life, during that movie. Flava and Brigitte Nelson. Golly. Is it Nielsen or Nelson? How do you pronounce that last name? Yeah. Mark Gastineau? Gastineau died of a Nielsen. Okay. Gastineau died of was it heart attack, steroids, something you don't want to be involved in, I believe. Pretty sure that was the case with Gastineau. He was a beast. He really was, man. Those guys. What was the other cat's name who played for the Raiders? Lyle Alzado. I guess I'm pronouncing that right. That dude was something else too. You know, I like a guy that, you know, Tom Gully just kills it. He knows what he's talking about. Steroids. That's what I thought, Tom. You're right about that. Well, we got a final segment coming up, but I do feel bad for Flavor Flav owing $1 million in back taxes. Final segment's coming up after the break. We got a couple of more things to get to here on the program. This is the No Name Show. I'm Lawton Swan. And we would just like you to follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. youtube.com/lswanmedia. And it's kind of sad because I really look for Flavor Flav's soundbite of where he goes, wow, for that $1 million, but I couldn't find it. If you dig that up, let me know. We'll be back. Final segment of the No Name Show, 10:34 in the p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay with us.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin.
Hate the thought of shopping? All that hassle and can't find what you're looking for anyway? We understand. Retail stores make it difficult. Instead, try www.edistooutdoors.com. Edisto Outdoors features performance apparel and gear engineered for performance, comfort, and style. EdistoOutdoors.com. You'll enjoy the shopping and you'll enjoy the products. Great products from people who care.
Georgia, 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 Georgia.
We on the grind,
Georgia,
all the time. It ain't nothing on my mind, but
Georgia.
we ain't playing with.
Well, this came across my desk the other day. By the way, glad to have you with us here on the program. This is the No Name Show. I'm your host, Lawton Swan. All the information, all the ways you can contact us, follow us, all that good stuff, right there below me on the screen. If you can't read it well on vocal, no biggie. Go to the YouTube channel. You can read it perfectly, crystal clear, and you will be back for more. We've had some very loyal viewers as of late. We've had a lot of loyal viewers as of late who have come on strong and been here each and every week. But tonight, for whatever reason, maybe it's the Olympic finale has everybody away. Maybe there's some preseason football on, perhaps. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really checked into it. Let me check the front page of Vocal. I do not believe we're on the front page right now. I typically can tell when that happens because we get up to 15, 16 people who are viewing the show. If we're on vote, yeah, Drake Christopher. Let's see where Drake is the number 4 rated broadcaster. Join Drake Christopher from Catching Your Clouds every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central as he discusses new music updates and performs live acoustic sets. He has 1,915 followers, and I'm not quite sure what he's doing right now. He must be on quite a while. Yeah, the Olympics is tough, man. Lots of people watching that. And, my wife, we just had our second child, and so we're up at all hours. Thank goodness the Olympics are on. We picked a good year to have a child. I've had lots to watch at 2 and 3 a.m. Like rowing in a boat or a canoe or of some sort, almost like down a slip and slide that's been created, a fake river. There's also BMX biking in the Olympics now. I saw something today where these girls were doing like ballet moves, but they had these balls that they threw around to each other. I've seen trampolining. I'm beginning to get concerned that the Olympics has gone a little bit overboard with the sports. What's next? Video gaming? Am I going to have to watch a couple of guys battle it out in Madden, NFL, 2012? Guys battling it out in Warcraft. Is that the next Olympic sport? Anything made by Whammo. Yeah, no hula hoops, no frisbees. Yeah, I thought that was the purpose of the X Games, Tom. I think you're right. I mean, was not the purpose of the X Games to give these other athletes their outlet? Because ultimately, and maybe this is the case of the Olympics trying to capitalize on it, one of the two has got to give. Is there enough room for it? Maybe there is. I mean, there's enough room for World Cup soccer and the national. And Tom, you could fill me in even better. And like international tournaments each and every year. Maybe the world champs every year. I don't know how that works. But at some point, are we not going to reach our saturation for watching grown men ride BMX bikes? I mean, really? Snowboarding, a sport where you can win 5 gold medals. Oh, Thomas, Thomas, Thomas. You never cease to amaze me with your wit and candor. Yes, sir. In their pajamas, they win medals. My favorite movie of all time, and this is a tough one to say to people, it's probably Willy Wonka. It is up there with Back to the Future Part 1. There are some other great ones I could, roll off more recent movies, but growing up as a kid in a small, small town. And welcome in if you're fresh to the program. Great to have you here. We got a couple more viewers here of the program. Come on back in. Continue on with us. If you grew up in a small town like I did, where really, and I know most places only started with a couple of channels, but I remember when Nickelodeon came in. I remember when Nickelodeon became a show, and we had Pinwheel and all this stuff. I didn't, we didn't. 13 channels was it, man. You're maxed out. Maxed out. When you got home from school and General Hospital went off, Scooby-Doo and Fred Flintstone came on. I mean, that was the way it was. I mean, there was no it wasn't like there was a Cartoon Network. The networks had to cater to the young people. Disney Channel did not exist. ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS. We didn't have Fox. Tom says he had 4 channels. But I recall the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, for me, just being like this amazing event. Kids licking the wallpaper, tasting the snozberries. He's singing a little, if you want to view paradise. And he eats the cup, man. He eats the cup. And I'm thinking, if I ever get a chance to get in this place, if I can ever. The kids are like trying to get stuff out of the trees. He hits it with a stick and gumballs fall everywhere. And the girl like chewing this taffy like, and she's stretching it. And the kid gets sucked through the tube. Augustus, glut. Augustus, no, don't touch the water or the chocolate. Yeah, Violet Beauregard gets turned into the blueberry. Mike TV. Veruca. Veruca Salt. She wanted it now. I want the whole world. Okay, so that's got to be one of my top movies of all time, okay? I mean, and Veruca, could you imagine if your child was Veruca? And her dad's like closed down the peanut shelling factory. I haven't shelled a nut in a month. All we've done is shell these chocolate bars. And they finally found it, and Veruca takes it and she goes on the trip. And Charlie and Grandpa Joe or George or whatever, Grandpa Joe, I think, they drink the fizzy lifting drinks. You guys know the story. I hope I'm not giving it away. And they that glass is going to have to be cleaned. And Mr. Wonka, he gave all those kids their everlasting gobstoppers. And Arthur Slugworth was going to pay a whole lot for them. But Charlie, he put it down, and you had that moment. Charlie. Well, Mel Stewart, the director of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, died this past week. He was 83 years old. While the Oompa Loompas were probably not the best character ever invented, the story that Roald Dahl wrote was unbelievable. And the depiction that Mel Stewart put on it was crazy good. Outside of, maybe as Tom mentioned, the psychedelic gondola ride that was just bizarre, like a worm, I about did the If You Want to View Paradise, but it's like flashes flowing, nowhere knowing which way we're going. Okay. Good day, sir, etc., etc. Gosh. Oh, please let this be on YouTube. YouTube.com. Let's see it. Come on. All right, this is, what would that be called? Willy Wonka blow up? Uh, blow, Willy Wonka. Um, you get nothing. Here we go. This is a remix. Ah, man, I can't risk it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here, this is it. I'm not going to show the video. And we are running so slow here tonight. I don't know if we've got some issues with our servers or what, but we are just putting along at a slow. No, good day, sir. You get nothing, you lose. Here we go. Hope you can hear this. I gotta fast forward that.
Well, when does he get it?
He doesn't.
Why not?
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. You're a cheat and a swindler. Anyway, Mel Stewart, I still believe Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was better than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. We'll make a big save. Nice. That's good stuff. I wondered how, when Tom played pro soccer in the stadium, they would play that. Tom is a soccer. Listen, people. Here's how impressed you would be with Tom's soccer knowledge. He ran through one time. I was listening to a show. He literally ran through like the entire history of the World Cup. Okay? All the way back to the first ball that was ever, kicked and played with wherever in whatever country. It was unbelievable. I stood in awe as I listened to this. And finally, and one thing I do want to get to here before we get you out here, I was looking at the useful self-development brain stuff. I use a program called Zeit a lot of times to kind of hunt down new concepts and new things that we want to talk about here on the program. But here's something for you to know. Your brain, and there's a lot of great brain research out there, some of which I don't know. They said that you got so many blood vessels in your brain that if you laid them all out, they'd wrap around the world 4 times. I don't know if I get that or not. But you actually have about 70,000 thoughts per day. But most of them are the same ones looping around and around in your head. I guess that's like an earworm. There's a commercial on TV right now that plays that song. I think it's called "This Much Is True." I do believe that may be the name of the song. And Tom, you're probably gonna kill me that I don't know that. It's the one that's like, I don't even want to sing it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I believe it's called "This Much Is True." But that earworm, every time I hear that commercial, gets stuck in my head, and I just cannot get it out there. But there are some unbelievable little stats here that you may not know about your brain. And you should probably check it out. Your brain's a pretty complex object. Let's see here if I can find one more for you. Oh, one thing is this. Your brain actually can't take in everything, all the sensory stuff, so it just kind of filters that stuff out. And so I was watching the show the other day, and the guy kept changing. He'd change his hat while he was talking to somebody. They'd create a distraction. People wouldn't even notice. They'd walk in, he'd have an eye patch on, his arm in a sling, a neck brace on, a black shirt, and by the end, he'd have a cap on, no arm brace, a red shirt, and he would say, "Is there something, do you notice anything different?" And people would be like, there's something a little different about you. He said, "You don't remember an arm brace?" He said, Yeah. What happened to the arm brace? That show is called Mind Games, I believe. I think you need to check that out too. But the brain is very poor at concentrating for long periods of time and needs to clear its head, so to speak, about every 90 seconds or so. Well, in that case, then we are about 46 minutes overdue of letting you clear your mind. So we're going to get out of here. Hypnotized. Biggie Smalls is the illest. His style is played out like Arnold with that what you talking about Willis. We'll see y'all next time right here, 10 p.m. Sundays, the No Name Show. Hashtag No Name. #1 on vocal. That's who we are. Who are you? Are you the biggest no name? I don't think so. Peace.